ಹಲೋ, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಇಂದಿನ ಈ ತರಗತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು BA ಸೋಷಿಯಾಲಜಿಯ ಮೊದಲ ಸೆಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ನ ಮೊದಲ ಸೆಷನ್. ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಈಸ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಟು ಸೋಷಿಯಾಲಜಿ, ಡೆಫಿನಿಷನ್, ಸ್ಕೋಪ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ನೀಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸ್ಟಡಿ. The learning objective of this paper is to understanding meaning, definition, and the need of the study. First, we will discuss sociology. Introduction to sociology. Sociology is the youngest of all social sciences. Its major concern is society, and hence it is important to know about society. ಸಮಾಜಶಾಸ್ತ್ರವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಸಂಬಂಧಗಳು, ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳ ಪರಿಣಾಮಗಳ ಕುರಿತು ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮಾಡಲು ಬಳಸುವ ಒಂದು ವಿಜ್ಞಾನವಾಗಿದೆ. The etymological meaning of the term sociology, it's made up of two words, the combination of two words. Latin word societas and the Greek word logos. In this way, sociology is the study of society or the science of society. It is the youngest social science. The major concern of sociology is society, and the Greek word logos, which means study or science. Hence, the etymological meaning of the sociology is science of society. ಸಮಾಜದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ವೈಜ್ಞಾನಿಕವಾಗಿ ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ಇದಾಗಿದೆ. It studies about man's behavior in the group, interaction among human beings, social relationship, and the process by which human group activity takes place. We will move to the definition part. Different scholars have their opinion regarding the definition of sociology. They define sociology in different ways. Though the content of the definition is same, the definition which is vary from person to person. ಸಮಾಜಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ ಒಂದು ಸಮಾಜದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ವೈಜ್ಞಾನಿಕ ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ವಿಧಾನವಾಗಿದ್ದು, ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳು, ಬದಲಾವಣೆ, ರಚನೆ, ಕ್ರಿಯೆಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇದು ವೈಜ್ಞಾನಿಕವಾಗಿ ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಸಮಾಜ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನವಾಗಿದೆ. L.F. Watt, he says sociology is a science of society. Whereas McIver and Page, he says sociology is about social relationship and the net of social relationship. We call it as a society. Morris Ginsburg, he says sociology is a science of social interaction and interrelation, their condition and consequences. Young says sociology is a scientific study of structure of social life. R.E. Park and F.W. Burgess, he says sociology is a science of collective behavior. As you all know, sociology is the youngest of all social sciences. The word sociology is basically from Latin word societas, whereas Greek word logos. So, the meaning of sociology is study or science. It studies about the society. It is the science of society. In other words, sociology is the study of man's behavior in the group or interaction among human beings or social relationship or the process by which human group activity takes place. Sociology began in Europe. It emerged in the mid 19th century because of Industrial Revolution, French Revolution, and success of physical sciences that led to the emergence of sociology. Auguste Comte is a French philosopher who coined the term sociology for the first time. And he says in his book Positive Philosophy, published in the year 1838, earlier it was named as social physics, he believed that science of sociology should be based on systematic observation and classification, not on authority or speculation. This was a relatively new idea at that time. Auguste Comte, 1798 to 1857, is generally called as the father of sociology, and his contribution to the development of sociology is innumerable. And he used this particular aspect in the methods of physics, and then he applied to the study of society. ವೈಜ್ಞಾನಿಕ ಅಧ್ಯಯನಕ್ಕೆ ಸಮಾಜಶಾಸ್ತ್ರವು ನಾಂದಿಯಾಯಿತು. ನೈಸರ್ಗಿಕ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಗತಿಯ ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಅಧ್ಯಯನದ ವೈಜ್ಞಾನಿಕ ವಿಧಾನಗಳನ್ನು ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮಾಡಲು ವಿದ್ವಾಂಸರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರೇರೇಪಣೆಯನ್ನು ನೀಡಿದ್ದು ಸಮಾಜಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ. ಸೊ ನೇಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೋಷಿಯಾಲಜಿ ಎಂದರೆ ಸಮಾಜಶಾಸ್ತ್ರದ ಸ್ವಭಾವ. Sociology is a science. It is not natural science, but it is social science. A science which helps to understand the society. So it has its own characteristics. They are as follows. It is independent science. It is social science. It is pure science. It is abstract science. It is generalizing science. It is positive science. It is both a rational and empirical science. Auguste Comte, 1798 to 1857, he is known as the father of sociology. And if we speak about the scope of sociology, scope ಅಂದರೆ ವ್ಯಾಪ್ತಿ. If the social being etc. are changing, then it is difficult to find the scope. Due to the changing nature, it is difficult to say what the scope is. Moreover, we cannot even define sociology. Scope means subject matter or the area of study or the boundaries of the subject. What we have to study in particular subject is known as its scope. Every science has its own field of inquiry. It becomes difficult to study a science systematically unless its boundaries or the scope or the boundaries are not clear. But there is no one opinion about the scope of sociology. People have different schools of thought regarding the scope of sociology. First school is called as the specialistic school or the formalistic school. The name is so because sociology is special science to study about society. George Simmel is a supporter of this school. Society has form and content. According to him, here there can be no society without form and content. They can be separated. Form and the content. He says sociology only studies the form but not the content. For example, competition. Competition and the ಸ್ಪರ್ಧೆ. Social studies the factor, result. This is the form. The area of competition is the content and it is not studied. Sociology does not study the content because There are other social sciences which studies the content. So, George Simmel, who always supported specialist or the Aupacharika Adhyayana. Next, we'll come to synthetic school. The school of thought believes that sociology should be studied in the society as a whole, not to confine ಸಮಾಜವನ್ನು ಸಮಗ್ರವಾಗಿ ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಕಾಂಪ್ರಹೆನ್ಸಿವ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಜನರಲ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್. ಇದು ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ. ಸಮಾಜವನ್ನು ಸಮಗ್ರವಾಗಿ ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೋಷಿಯಾಲಜಿ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನ್ in the view of Emile Durkheim. He believes that in the collection of the people in the society, when there is collection, there must be a wider scope for collective representation. There must be majority of the people, hence it will be social fact. They are instrumental in guiding and controlling the behavior of the society. Symbols. Majority of the people, they use symbols which will help to prove the social fact. ಸಮಾಜಶಾಸ್ತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ ವಿಷಯಗಳು ಸಾಕಷ್ಟಿದೆ. ಕುಟುಂಬ, ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ, ಧರ್ಮ, ಸರ್ಕಾರ, ಆರ್ಥಿಕತೆ, ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ, ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಪರಿಣಾಮ, ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಶ್ರೇಣೀಕರಣ, ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಟಿಫಿಕೇಷನ್, ವರ್ಗ, ಜಾತಿ, ಜನಾಂಗ, ಲಿಂಗ, ಅಸಮಾನತೆ, ಶ್ರೇಣೀಕೃತ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ, ಬದಲಾವಣೆ, ವಿಕಸನ, ಕ್ರಾಂತಿಗಳು, ತಾಂತ್ರಿಕ ಪ್ರಗತಿ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಕೂಡ ಸಮಾಜಶಾಸ್ತ್ರದ ವ್ಯಾಪ್ತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುವಂಥ ಅಂಶಗಳು. ಸಮಾಜಶಾಸ್ತ್ರವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಅಧ್ಯಯನವನ್ನು ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಅನೇಕ ಸಂಶೋಧನಾ ವಿಧಾನಗಳನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಬಳಸ್ತೇವೆ. ಅಪರಾಧ, ಭಾವನೆಗಳು, ಕ್ರೈಮು, ವೆಲ್ಫೇರು, ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ, ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್, ಪೀಸ್, ವಾರ್, ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ದಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಸೋಷಿಯಾಲಜಿ. ಮನೋವಿಜ್ಞಾನ, ಮಾನವಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ, ರಾಜಕೀಯ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನಗಳ ಜೊತೆ ಸಮಾಜಶಾಸ್ತ್ರದ ಸಂಬಂಧ ನಿಕಟವಾಗಿದೆ. ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ close bonds with all social sciences. If you read sociology, you have job opportunities, research orientation you can do, and you can spread your knowledge to different fields. Need of the study. Sociology studies society in a scientific way. Before the emergence of sociology, there was no systematic and scientific attempt to study the human society. With all its complexity, sociology made it possible to study society in a scientific manner. Scientific knowledge is very important in the modern days. Without scientific knowledge, we can't progress. When you develop scientific methods, the society naturally develops. Sociology throws much light on social nature of the man. Actually, Aristotle said man is a social animal. Why he lives in the group, communities, societies? Because he is a social animal. You can't bifurcate individual from society. Sociology increases the power of social action when if he lives in the group. The science of society assists an individual to understand himself, his capacities, talents and the limitation. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ತನ್ನ ಸಾಮರ್ಥ್ಯ ಏನು, ತನ್ನ ಪ್ರತಿಭೆ ಏನು, ತನ್ನ ಇತಿಮಿತಿಗಳೇನು ಎನ್ನುವುದನ್ನು ತಿಳಿಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಅವನು ಸಮಾಜಶಾಸ್ತ್ರವನ್ನು ಸಂಕೀರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಗುಂಪುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳ ಜೊತೆ ಒಡನಾಟವನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸಂಘಗಳ ಸದಸ್ಯತ್ವವನ್ನು ಪಡೆಯಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. then you'll become very active member of the society. Sociology studies the role of institutions in the development of the individual through the sociology and through scientific study. If individual wants to develop, he must be in the connection with the other people. So home and the family, school and the education, church and the religion, state and the government, industry and the work, community and association, these are the institution through which society functions. Social studies these institutions and their role in the development of the individual and suggests the suitable measures for strengthening them with a view to understand or enable the society to serve the individual better. Sociology is the indispensable for understanding planning of the society. Sociology is a great importance in giving solution to problems. The present world is suffering from many problems. Without the knowledge of society, we can't solve the problem. So, sociology studies the root of the problem and the problem and the impact of the problem on society. So, sociology always tries ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳನ್ನು ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಪರಿಹಾರೋಪಾಯಗಳನ್ನು ಸೂಚನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಸಮಾಜಶಾಸ್ತ್ರದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಅದರ ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ವಿಷಯಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಆಲೋಚಿಸಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Sociology has changed our outlook with regard to the problems of crime. It is through the study of sociology our whole outlook about various aspects of the crime that will change. The criminals are now treated as human beings because ಅಪರಾಧಿಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಮನುಷ್ಯರೇ. ಅವರಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಡಿಫಿಷಿಯನ್ಸಿಯಿಂದ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಕ್ರಿಮಿನಲ್ಸ್. So we can correct them, we can rehabilitate them, and we can make them useful for the society by studying sociology. Sociology has made great contribution to enrich human culture and made richer in the contribution of sociology. It is very important to study the society without which society cannot function. Sociology is very important in solving international problems. The progress made physical science has brought the nation of the world nearer with each other. ಮನುಷ್ಯನನ್ನು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ಅನೇಕ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಪರಿಹಾರೋಪಾಯಗಳನ್ನು ಕಾಣಬಹುದಾಗಿದೆ. The value of sociology lies in the fact that it keeps us update on modern solutions. It contributes to making good citizens, finding solutions to the community problems. It adds all solution for the specific problem. It studies about society, which helps the government to promote welfare programs for the marginalized group and to bring so many schemes to uplift the people and enrich their socio-economic and cultural heritage. And studies conducted, sociologists and anthropology regarding the tribal studies or problems have helped the government to undertake social welfare measures and programs for the welfare purposes. Sociology is useful as a teaching subject, as a profession, and which improves our technical competence. And sociology trains research procedures and contributing business, government, industry, social sector, communication, and many other aspects. So, in the concluding remarks, we can say sociology is truly scientific. It studies about the society, it studies about human relationship, it studies about various aspects. So, it studies about the economic, political, religious, legal, and various other factors. Sociology studies the relationship. So, build up smaller and greater systems So, how they so, by and large, the study of sociology is helpful to one and all. So, with this note, I end up this class. Thank you all for watching this video.